Welcome to another episode of Carrie's Corner. I'm your host, Carrie, and thanks for joining me in my corner.
Jen.
Oh, you recorded. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Carrie's Corner. I am super fortunate and lucky to have my friend Alex here with me.
Hello.
Alex is amazing. I won't share yet how I met her. I'll let her dive into that. But she is killing it and doing amazing things.
Oh, wow, thank you.
And of course, it's the truth. It's facts. All facts in this corner. And make sure you guys go follow her fitness page. I will link it
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
down below, or wherever I decide to put it. I will link it, and you will follow. Anyways, but Alex, why don't you tell the people how did we meet?
Well, I was working at a gym, LA Fitness, and this bubbly personality would come in way too early in the morning before she went to work. And we definitely hit it off. We started talking. We talked about literally everything. And then from there, we ended up working out together and going for tacos, which was such a great little friend date.
Cute date.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I met you. And I'm very lucky. I'm so lucky to have met you.
I'm lucky to have met you. So to be transparent, this is take two.
Yeah, so it feels
It's a little less organic.
yeah.
But I was trying not to make faces because take one, I made a face when she said bubbly because again, bubbly where?
Okay.
Where?
They'll see it if they haven't already.
I'm bubbly when I'm awake. At 5 a.m. in the morning, I am dead to the world. And
Okay, fair enough. When we started like talking and stuff, it was more on your way out.
fair. That is
And
fair.
after a workout, like a good workout.
Yeah, had some caffeine in me.
Yeah.
I was ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Ready to take on the world.
Yes, yeah.
Edmonton.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I don't know if I made a face too, but I think it was mainly just you calling me bubbly. But either way, this is take two. But it's okay. We're here. We're ready. We're thriving and surviving.
Exactly.
I'm excited for this episode. We're going to be
Me
talking
too.
about breakups. Of all realms, not just intimate, but friendship.
Definitely, yeah.
family, you
We've
name
all
it.
been through it.
Exactly. So, we're gonna jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we are going to get into the body oddy of breakups. So, Alex, I have some
Yes.
questions for you.
Hit me.
All right, so one, uh, can you tell me about a bad habit that you've had to break up with, and how did you do it?
Bad habit.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, we're on and off.
Okay.
But chewing my nails,
Oh,
it's really bad.
nail biter.
I am like a stress nail biter. It's bad.
Yeah.
But lately I've been pretty good at it.
Nice.
Mostly just because I do my nails and take care of them. And
Yeah.
then when they look pretty, I'm like, oh, well, I can't chew them because they're pretty. But I wish I could say I could apply that to life with all my habits. But I mean, you kind of can. If you make something aesthetically pleasing or something that you're proud of,
Yeah.
then you don't want to go against that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the gym, for example,
Hmm.
like you had a good workout or you've been seeing progress, you're probably less inclined to want to reach for that second piece of cake or, I don't know, have that extra soda or whatever it is, whatever your food dietary vice is, because you've created something that you're proud of. So you don't
Yeah.
want to like,
Deviate from that.
yeah, exactly. I love that, but the nail biter.
Yeah.
So I think that you're a
Oh,
nail
yeah.
biter.
Oh gosh, called myself out.
No, it's okay if you listen and you don't judge out loud. No, no.
Yeah, just your face judges.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't
The
hide anything.
worst poker face ever.
It's a little bit.
There used to be like a reverse poker where I could just like, you know how like you want a poker face?
Yeah.
I need a game where you don't want a poker face.
Okay.
And then like, I would win.
So guess who's not bluffing? Like
Yeah.
that kind of game?
Like, guess who's the most honest?
Yeah.
My face. My
Yeah.
face would do me
You
no
would
wrong.
you would win.
Right on.
Flying colors, yeah.
Someone out there, please create that game so I can win
Yeah.
and make the like prize like $1 million, something like that. So
Damn.
help your girl
Yeah.
out. Okay, so for the next question in
Hmm.
the body audience, what is something that you currently indulge in that you need to break up with? For example, staying up late.
Oh,
It could be overeating. It could be drinking. You name it.
girl, right now it's staying up late.
Ooh.
I used to be so good at waking up like 6 to 8 would be my wake up time,
Yeah,
and then going to bed around like 9 to 11,
yeah.
probably. Now, I mean, well, look at the freaking time right now. It's
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
But I'm used to it now. Like, yeah, I've been yawning, but the last couple of nights
Yeah,
and well, last couple of nights, the last month, it's been bad. It's been
yeah.
really bad. That I need to break up with.
Okay.
I think it'll help once I get a more structured job routine
Yeah,
and everything. I'll get back into that.
yeah,
But it's definitely hard when you don't have things set in place or like
yeah,
timelines.
yeah.
And then when you wake up, you're like, oh, well, I don't have anywhere to be. It's so hard to get out of bed.
Ooh, tell me about
Yeah.
it. Tell me about
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. That's what I need to break up with.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know you kind of touched a little bit on it in regards to like getting back that routine and kind of having that structure.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something that you could establish before, for example, like the job and other stuff? Or-
Definitely.
oh,
Oh, for sure I could.
are we
Uh,
going to? With that.
you know what? I probably could, and I'm disciplined enough that I could definitely do it.
Yeah,
I think in the next week I likely will because I am moving out.
yeah,
So I have a lot to accomplish in my days, even if it isn't like a hard timeline.
yeah.
So that's something I have to get back into. I think making something that you can look forward to the next day
Mm,
makes a huge difference.
absolutely.
Even if it's a small thing like a cup of coffee, like a specialty coffee or something like that,
Oh,
or you get to meet with a friend or you go for a hot girl walk or something.
yeah.
Something to look forward to definitely gets you out of bed, even if it isn't, like a job in the morning.
Absolutely. And I think that totally just touches on like what we just said prior about making something pretty or something to look forward to.
Yeah,
Like the human brain likes pretty things since we were
it
babies.
does.
It gets attracted to attractive things,
Yeah,
features, qualities.
romanticize life.
Yeah, exactly. Romanticize your own life. And
Yeah.
so, like, set that routine, buy yourself a cute cup, and make yourself your favorite coffee, like open up your oon Starbucks inside of your home or
Yeah,
whatever it is that like gets you out of bed. I think that, definitely helps really set the tone for your day.
100%.
Because that's something I've struggled with me working 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
I could see that, yeah.
Oh my gosh, the 2 weeks off, like if I have nothing planned, no clients, no nothing, like there's times where I'm rolling out of bed at like 1 p.m. and I'm like, disgusting. And it's like, I'm just disgusted with myself because it's like, why? Like, I'm really just sitting in bed playing Monopoly Go or scrolling on Instagram or
Okay.
TikTok. Like, I am such an old lady. I could be up doing things, but instead, I'm just procrastinating and chilling and
Yeah.
just, indulging in this bad habit that I have. And it only happens, I find, not only, but it happens the most when I'm on my 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Because it's that like idle mind. I'm just sitting there. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm like, I gotta be up tomorrow morning. Like,
And you probably tell yourself that because, I mean, you work very hard and you
yeah.
work long hours and in the cold sometimes. Like
Every
that's rough. So when you have your 2 weeks off, you want to just veg and
Yeah.
like give yourself that time, which is great. But also I think you can feed that like satisfaction of relaxing in different ways and different avenues
Absolutely.
rather than Monopoly Go. I
I
know you're the
I mean, Monopoly Go is great,
I gotta try it.
but
Yeah.
yeah, get on it so I have
Okay.
more people to give me stickers.
Okay.
Add my Monopoly Go tech. No, I'm kidding. I'm not taking
Oh my
Monopoly Go.
god.
But no,
Future
I
sponsor.
Hasbro. But no, like absolutely. It's with any bad habit that you need to break or
Hmm.
break up with. Uh, I think it's about replacing it with something better,
Yeah.
and finding that something better.
Yeah.
So if it's fitness, if it's sleep schedules, if it's drinking, like find that silver lining somewhere in there, find something that's positive that you can grasp onto
Hmm.
and like hold on to that with your life
Yeah.
and magnify that. That way, those days when it's tough and you're like, I really don't want to do anything, like
Yeah.
whatever the habit is, yeah, I feel like that helps with kind of breaking those habits.
100%. Yeah.
I'm just pretty lucky I don't have an addictive personality. So, like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't have bad habits, but I do
Hmm.
find I don't struggle as much to like break a habit if I need
Yeah.
to. Um,
That's good.
I mean, it's a catch 22. We are going to jump into ties and tangles. So, this segment, we're focusing in on relationships of all sorts.
Okay.
Okay. So, intimate,
Mhm.
friendship, family,
Okay.
work relationships, anything that has a ship in it,
All
minus
right.
a cruise ship, which
Oh, shoot.
I would love to be on right
Yeah.
now. But anyway, yes, we're gonna dive into the ties and the tangles.
Bring
Yeah.
it on.
Love it. All right, Alex. So tell me about your most difficult breakup and how did you overcome it?
Okay.
Oh, and also, who broke up with who?
Oh my
I know it's a tough one. Okay, I apologize to Alex in advance because this is a little close to home right now, but she's a
It
trooper.
relatively recent.
Yeah, we love you for it.
Well, I recently got broken up with, so she did. I was the breaky. She was the breaker.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it happened like January, beginning of January. Actually, the 1st of January. Happy New Year. Uh, yeah, and that was the toughest breakup I've ever gone through.
Mhm.
What was the rest of
It's
it?
okay. I just, how did you overcome it? Like, how did
I
you?
crashed out hard. I
Okay.
don't recommend. I really don't. I think there's healthier ways of getting over someone, but that's what I did.
Mhm.
I, in the past, have dealt with breakups really well. Um, Probably because I didn't know that I liked girls, but I think I think I'm a relatively emotionally mature person
Yeah.
and I handle my emotions very well, but this one was quite difficult. I think what helped was a lot of reflection, a lot of looking back over the relationship from a more objective point of view rather than being right in it. Kind of, I was telling you earlier
Yeah.
about when you're so close to like an object or something, it's very difficult to see what that object is or identify it
Yeah.
until you take a step back.
Yeah.
So once I had that step back, I was able to really see it for how it was
Yeah.
and definitely getting back to myself. So I got back to the things that I hadn't been doing in the relationship,
Oh.
and I didn't really realize that I really prioritized that until later on.
Okay.
Like something that was a strong value of mine
Yeah.
until I didn't have it. And then when I got back into it, like the gym and eating healthy and meal prepping and doing, oh my goodness, my music, I completely stopped singing, songwriting almost the entire relationship.
It is sad how you can lose yourself sometimes in a relationship.
You really can. And you don't even realize.
Yeah.
That's the worst part of it.
Yeah.
And when you get her back, then you're just, it, it feels amazing.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's so many people lose themselves in relationships unfortunately and don't even
Mm,
realize it's happening until I won't say it's too late, but it's so hard to like find those things again because
yeah.
not only are you trying to heal, but at the same time, you're also trying to find back this person that you once were
Yeah.
and like those positive aspects, but then also too, you're also growing into a whole new person at the same time. So there's so many moving parts,
It's a lot.
so much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I can so attest to that in so
Yeah.
many ways. And I don't
Yeah.
even know how I would answer that question because I've had some interesting breakups and some interesting relationships. Um, And I mean, I would say, as sad as this is, because I think of two. I
Mm-hmm.
think of not name dropping, so I gotta use code names. You guys would love to know who I'm talking about. Um, Okay, so I think back to my ex Jared. That's the only name I'll drop. Rest in peace. He passed away, for anyone who doesn't know, and while we were still together. And so that was difficult in itself because
Yeah.
that's not just a breakup, it's grief that you're
Yeah.
dealing with. So that was difficult in its own realm of itself.
Yeah.
Um, but then I think of trying to think of what code name I can use for you to get it without everyone else getting
I'm
it.
excited. Okay.
Uh, okay. You ready? Follow me.
Okay.
Um, big.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Only YouTubers will really get to see this one. Uh, kind of most recent.
I think I know. I,
Narcissist.
oh. Pfft.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I had to say.
Yeah.
Look at that. Um, and if you guys know who I'm talking about just from that word,
No, you
that
don't.
is on you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on you, not us. We didn't say anything. But anyway, so for that one, I think that one was really tough for me because
Definitely.
I lost myself
Yeah.
completely. I didn't know what type of music I liked anymore. I didn't know what type of food
Oh
I
my
liked anymore.
gosh.
I I was just a shell of a human because when you date an emotional vampire,
You get brainwashed.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you really truly do. And again, until you're able to get out of it and then heal from it and then take a look back,
Yeah.
then you can truly see oh, that was super toxic, that was unhealthy, or
Yeah.
borderline abusive, if not was mentally and emotionally abusive. But in the same breath, yeah, it was difficult.
You learn from it.
Yeah.
You learn a lot. You learn from every single person in your life,
Yes.
breakup, whatever. You learn. It's just living and learning, right?
Yeah, literally. And
Yeah.
we kind of spoke about it earlier today too while we were at the
Mm.
gym, that at the end of the day, like growth isn't always going to be this awesome upward
No.
trajectory, smooth sailing, farthest thing from it.
Hmm.
Um, but at the end of the day, the goal, the goal is just constantly moving forward and up.
Yeah.
That's all you can hope for. And as long as you're doing that to some degree, then it's okay if you stumble a bit. It's
Yeah.
okay if you trip up. It's okay if, you have a couple hiccups. And then that's how you learn. And it's those are the tools that you can now use to protect yourself in the future, to not
Yeah.
make those same mistakes again. But then that's on you to learn from those mistakes,
Yes.
which is a huge thing.
It, yeah. It's always on you.
It is.
Yeah.
I always say it, there is nobody out there that's gonna wave a magical wand that is gonna save you. You need to save yourself.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's why my favorite book, it's a poetry book, is by Amanda Lovelace, and it's called The Princess Saves Herself in this one.
That's cute.
It is cute, and it's just all about just owning your shit, you know what I mean? And it's
Hmm.
okay to feel your emotions. It's
Yeah.
okay to take your moment to grieve and be upset or whatever it is, but then you got to realize, okay, what can I control? And at the end of the day, the only thing that you can control, the only person you can control is yourself.
Yeah.
And so
You have to take responsibility for yourself.
100%.
Hmm.
And stop trying to point the finger, because there's some people out there, and I'm not saying who, but if it's you, you know it's you. That they struggle with taking accountability.
Yeah.
And they struggle with yeah, just kind of doing that inside work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And being honest with yourself.
Yeah. It's like the parent that thinks their kid is perfect and
Oh,
they could do no wrong.
oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
you try to see yourself in a certain light so that you don't have to face the darker stuff, the stuff that you actually have to work through to get to the point where you are more secure in yourself.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, it's just about finding that balance. We're not saying to think you're the worst person out there and that you
No.
need to change everything about yourself, but we all have red flags, we all have bad habits, we
Yep.
all have things that we need to work on. And it's up to you and it's on you to work through those things.
Yeah.
Like whether you have a therapist, you can have the best partner in the world, you can have the best friend in the world, doesn't matter what it is. Like you need to work on you.
Yeah.
And so just finding that balance of like knowing that you're a good person and you're great, but also you got some stuff that you got to work on,
Yeah.
and that's totally okay.
100%.
Because
Everyone is like that.
absolutely
You're not alone in that.
nobody, we're all, funny enough, kind of in the same boat one
Mm.
way or another.
Yeah,
And I think if we all just kind of took a step back and remembered that, maybe we'd all have just a little bit more compassion for each other. But
definitely.
that's a whole other well, that's another
Yeah.
ball game, that's another story. Okay, on to the next question
Mhm.
for you. What do you think hurts more, a friendship breakup or an intimate partner breakup?
Well, okay. So, hmm.
I gave her a doozy.
Okay, so let me explain my thought process. So, when I mean, it's probably the same in heterosexual relationships as well,
Yeah.
but I found that when I was dating a girl, she became my absolute best friend,
Yeah.
right? And so during that breakup, not only did I lose a partner, I lost my best friend,
Yeah.
the person you went to tell everything, right?
Yeah.
So I have to say, like, a friend breakup is probably worse, but it's even worse if you have both of them combined into one person.
Yeah.
But I've had friend breakups, and even to this day, there are moments where I think about that person, and I think, I wonder what would have happened if we didn't break up as friends,
Yeah.
and if we were still in contact, like what she's doing, how she is doing, her family, everything. And I do feel a bit sad still. And that was, oh gosh, that was in high school, so I'm not gonna say how long ago, but it was a hot minute ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Man, I think I'm right there with you. I mean, I don't miss any of my exes, Bathleaches, but um, I, in terms of like what is the hardest to get over,
Mhm.
um, friendship breakups for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm still to this day, like definitely not to the same degree, but I can think of two friends that I went through a
Yeah.
friendship breakup with, and it it's still to some degrees impacts me.
Mhm.
Again, not in the same degree and not necessarily in the for the same reasons, but I think it's kind of just like you kind of mourn the good times, you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
I have different things with different friends, and there's certain things that only one friend will understand, and I could say to the other friend and I could try explain the backstory, the forestory, the whatever, the plot, the characters, the villains, and like they
Yeah.
just be like, okay, cool, versus somebody who was in it with me and experienced it.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of those moments I think that it makes me think back to them and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Ugh, like why couldn't we still be friends? Like I have
Yeah.
to tell, I want to tell you this, or like you're the only person that would understand this and like feel that same level of whatever.
Yeah.
So I think those are the things that make me mourn and miss those friendships, whereas like I don't get that with like intimate partners. I don't
Yeah.
know, I think I've been kind of unlucky and had some pretty bad partners in the past. I'm not saying everyone, but
No comment.
most of y'all. Yeah, she said it all.
Yeah.
But I think that at the end of the day, I accepted that with those intimate partners, what happened needed to happen,
Yeah.
like 100%, and I've only become better for it.
Mhm.
Um, with the friendship ones, like in some ways, yes, I have become better and I've learned some things, but at the same time, a little part of me is just like, okay, but what if we just like grew together and worked on
Yeah.
things together and healed and like tried to work through whatever issue caused whatever? Like, where could we be now? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like,
I think of that a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I feel like friendship breakups just like they hurt differently because,
They do.
man, you share things with your friends that like sometimes you don't even share with your partner. And it's not because you're hiding things from your partner, but it's
Oh, but
just
there's certain things you don't.
Yeah.
you can't talk about. I mean, you probably could, but when you are in your emotions and maybe don't want to put that on your partner, say it's about your partner, like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it helps a lot to have that outside perspective,
Yes.
especially if you were to communicate with your partner, you're both in it, and
Yeah.
it's hard to get that kind of objective
Yeah.
viewpoint.
And it's kind of nice to also have like, of course, like unbiased opinions
But
if
they back you
possible.
up.
Yeah, but it's like that's the thing with a friendship, it's like it's not unbiased. It's fully biased, but it's
Yeah.
fully in your support, and sometimes it's just what you need. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that's always the most healthy. Do
Well, it
not
lifts
feed
you
into,
up.
well, don't feed into your friends' delusions because some people are crazy, okay? And then you have friends that are like they support the crazy, and then you end up with no, I don't. I'm
I,
not for that. But are you for that?
Sometimes I feed the delusion, but not if it's bad, not if it's
Fair.
negative. But
Yes, and that's it. Like
yeah,
if it's negative, toxic, harmful, I'm not
you gotta be
feeding.
straight up.
Yeah, I'm not
Be
feeding
straight
into
up.
the
Yeah.
delulu. But if it's just like it's not gonna hurt nobody, a little white lie,
Yeah.
just a little fib,
Yeah.
little fib. Yeah, like that. I'll definitely like. I'm all for it. I'm here
Mm.
for a little razzle dazzle in my life, but
Yeah.
I I just think I agree with you. Like if I'm like my partner. I love him to death.
Yeah.
And I would say in a lot of ways he really is my best friend.
Yeah.
But if I'm mad at him and he pisses me off, I'm not gonna be like, "Hey babe, because you're my best friend, can you go into best friend mode so I can bitch about you and
Yeah.
then like and just pretend you have no attachment to the situation." Like
Doesn't work
it
like
just
that.
no.
No.
It'd be great if it did, but it just doesn't. So
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of need that separation. You need that balance. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like your partner can be your best friend, but you also need
A friend group.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
And if
support system
ab-
outside of, yeah.
absolutely. And if
Mhm.
you lose that, it can be like soul crushing sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, and there are people that really struggle to get out of that.
Mhm.
And I think this year for me, I'm finally just getting out of that because I added to my vision board that I want to like start
Yeah.
re-strengthening my friendships and like the ones that I have and that are good and positive and
Establishing new
yeah,
ones.
and
Yeah.
establishing new ones. And that is terrifying to do because making friends as an adult is hard. Okay.
It is. It
It
is
is
hard.
hard in these streets to make friends. I don't know how these people do it.
Yeah.
I'm not built for it. Jealous of you all. But
Join a run club. I hear either that or
what?
pickleball. Those are like the two
I'll do pickleball, but running?
that, yeah. Okay.
This girl also said to do stairs today. So,
Okay. It was more of like I need to conquer this machine, but I hate it.
that machine can stay unconquered. It's fine.
I'm
Not everything
stubborn.
has to
I'm
be.
so stubborn. I can't. I can't.
I was gonna make such an off-colored comment, but I'm not gonna do it. Nope, not gonna do it. But I'll tell you off
Okay.
camera.
Okay.
I'll get canceled before I even get big.
Oh shoot. Okay.
But no, oh my gosh, my brain's just stuck on that comment. Anyways, no, but
I'm very
it's a good
intrigued.
one. That's good. My coworkers would be proud.
Okay.
Yeah, to tell you how bad it is.
Yeah.
Um, but no, yeah, I to come back full circle, I
Mm,
think we're both in agreement. Friendship breakups are,
100%.
yeah,
Yeah, I
I just,
agree.
man,
Yeah.
whoever thinks that intimate relationships are more difficult, like, I want to meet you because I want to,
Yeah.
like, either you didn't have great friends or,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really know what the alternative to that would be, but okay. And I have one more question for you
Okay.
in our ties and tangles segment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, have you ever had to break up with a family member? Or have you ever had to come close to potentially
Yeah.
breaking up with a family member?
Yeah.
And if you did, so in this case you said yes, how did you overcome and prevent that breakup?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, and don't need to say who the family member was or don't need to
Oh,
give
I
us.
can because we're good now.
Okay.
Well, we're good, but I don't know if she would be okay with this. Probably. Okay. So there's some issues when I came out,
Okay.
and that created a lot of tension in my family.
Yep.
And there was one family member in particular
Yeah.
that was so against it and so in her ways
Mhm.
that it got to the point where I was gonna choose my partner over her.
Ah,
Yes.
that's tough.
Yeah, yeah. Because even if well, obviously I didn't end up with that partner, I'm going to end up with a girl.
Yeah.
So that was a really hard time. That was really hard,
Mhm.
and I had to prioritize myself and what would make me happy,
Yeah.
especially something that big. I'm not gonna change my sexuality for a family member.
Yeah.
So that was difficult, but it took time and patience and uh, easing her into it.
Okay. Okay.
And she was pretty open-minded.
Yeah.
Well, it got there. It got to
Okay.
the point where she was pretty open-minded.
Nice.
And I think once she saw how we interacted and saw her in person, that changed the whole thing
Okay.
and shifted her perspective a lot.
Nice.
So it was, I mean, I had the patience and she did too, but it was mostly on her
Yeah.
that had to change because I mean, I can't, in that situation, I can't really do anything about
Exactly.
that other than give her space and time
Yeah.
to really absorb it and process it.
That
Yeah.
is awesome. And
Yeah.
would you say that, I mean, breaking up with a family member is tough.
Yeah.
I've had to do it a couple times, and I'll get to that after, but
Mm.
would you say that your guys' relationship has been better for it now that,
Oh, yeah.
yeah?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I love that.
We talk about everything now, and she is so open and excited, like
Oh,
shares the excitement.
I love that.
Yeah, so I'm very, very grateful that I went through that and I was able to open up because I've tried. I mean, in high school, I
Yeah.
tried, and it just was met with just a wall of, yeah.
Yeah.
So now that I'm at that point, it's like I'm free almost. It feels really
Oh, I
good.
love that.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's perfect. And like, see, I feel like family is one of those things that like, oh, sorry, I'm getting comfy. All right. Family is one of those things that ideally you don't want to break up with
No.
because I know there's that saying like blood is thicker than water, which isn't always true, but I don't know. I feel like there comes a point where that blood sometimes is thinner than water.
Yeah.
And they have their own demons and habits and traits that they need to work on, or they just aren't ready to come to terms with,
Yeah.
or they just simply just fail to see as an issue and see
Mm-hmm.
how harmful it is being to you. And so there comes a point where you kind of just have to put yourself first and you kind of just got to break that relationship and break up with them. And I
It's
feel,
hard not to feel selfish in that
oh,
scenario.
and I've struggled with it even to this day. Like I still struggle because like I mean it doesn't just affect me and that family member. Like our other family members are affected as well
Yeah.
because they're kind of forced to,
Be the middleman.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's not so much of picking sides, but it's
There's
like
tension around it.
absolutely, and
Yeah.
to try appease both sides. Like I always say, sometimes it feels like divorced parents where it's like you're
Yeah.
the children where they're forced to pick like one or the other, or like they're now being split in two.
Yeah.
So I face a lot of guilt around that where I feel bad for the family that I kind of entangle into
Yeah.
the mess. But at the same time I still have to do what's best for me.
Yeah.
um like I always say, like you enter this world alone and you're gonna exit this world alone. So at the end
Yeah.
of the day, you kind of got to look out for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that's
you can't force anyone to do the thing that would help them.
yeah,
And there comes a certain point where it starts to negatively affect you. You have to take yourself out of the situation because nothing you are going to do will change that. And they have
absolutely.
to realize that on their own. And sometimes it's better for you to remove yourself because maybe it'll be a wake-up call for them
Yeah, and
that they're losing people over. Yeah.
that's kind of what I recognized with myself because I was like, okay, I tried, and then it just turned out I felt like I was enabling that
Yeah.
negative behavior more than like counteracting it or
Yeah.
trying to resolve it. And so I just kind of, yeah, I had to put my foot down and I was like, hey,
Good
enough
for
is
you.
enough. And it's tough, you know what I mean? And again, like
Takes
there's,
strength.
oh yeah, oh, strength is an understatement, but
Yeah.
you just gotta want what's best for you. And for me, like these past couple of years, especially since going to therapy, it's late and the tiredness is beginning to kick in, guys. So who knows on
Bear
the
with
rest of this
us.
podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a stressful sort of. But yeah, no, like since going to therapy and just working on my own traumas and stuff,
Mhm.
something that I've really prioritized is my peace. And
Good.
yeah, like I'm the queen of being like, nope, that's my boundary. Nope, that's my boundary. Nope. And just like advocating for myself and standing up for
Yeah.
myself and protecting myself and my peace and using boundaries kind of as my shield, um, in the healthiest way possible
Yeah.
and the most reasonable and rational way possible. Um, and it's done just that. Like things are peaceful. I
Yeah.
don't deal with the same things I was dealing with before. I don't have those feelings of doubt or anything like that. So like as much as it sucks to break up with a family member, um, in some ways it's awesome because you're able to avoid the actual breakup and you're able to work through
Yeah.
it, which is
Become stronger.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
amazing. And that is what I hope for everyone that is kind of
Uh,
at that
Same
point.
here.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But if not, and if you're kind of at the point where I was at or am at, then it's okay. It's
It is.
okay to put yourself first, to put your peace and your world first and whatever is entailed in that, um, and just protect that. So if you got to break up, peace.
Yeah.
Just gotta,
Yeah, definitely.
all right, that.
So this next segment is called Balance Break.
Okay.
And we are going to dive into the mental. So psychological, the emotional, the
Exciting.
mental. This is right up
Yeah.
Alex's alley. This is
Yeah.
what she went to school for.
Mhm.
So this is about as close as we're going to get to
Free therapy.
literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Um, so I think the first question that I have for you
Mhm.
is how do you help your close friends or family with their breakups, in whatever realm that is? And how do you mentally and emotionally keep yourself safe while still helping those people?
Hmm. Damn.
I come with the heavy hitters.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
things go up in this break.
Uh, okay. Let me just think of some past situations. I feel I will talk about the detachment first.
Sure.
I have always had a relatively easy time detaching,
Hmm.
and I'm not sure if that was because I grew up more of the mediator in the family.
This plant.
Um, the mediator in the family, so I kind of trained myself to detach,
Yeah.
and now it's just an easy thing to do.
Okay.
I think what helps is being able to identify what emotions do come up
Mm.
when you're facing like those types of situations. There
Yeah.
we go. But being able to identify them and being emotionally intelligent enough to view them from a distance
Yeah.
rather than feeling them fully.
Yeah.
Also, actually, something that just popped in my brain. There was a video I watched where they took you through this kind of a visual simulation type thing. So you
Okay.
close your eyes and you picture you're in this warehouse,
Okay.
and there's this big clear box
Okay.
in the middle of it.
Okay.
And you dig up like whatever feelings you're feeling and you put them in that box with whatever. For me it's like these balls of light, and
Okay.
each light is a different color for each emotion that I see, and I'm naming
Okay.
all of
Inside
them.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you like walk to the back of the warehouse right
Okay.
by the door, so you can leave, and you see it from a distance. You see all the emotions and everything there.
Yeah.
And every time I do that, it immediately takes me away from emotions. I know that they're there. I know that they're totally valid to
Yeah.
have those feelings, but I don't feel them.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that definitely helps with the detachment.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't do that when you're in the midst of, helping someone through something,
Yeah.
or like especially a breakup. But I think you get that practice in
Yeah.
when it arises, being able to see it, recognize it, but not absorb it into how you're feeling in
Yeah.
that moment. Yeah.
And I definitely can attest to that
Mhm.
because I personally am a very empathetic person.
Yes, you are.
So, yeah, and so I have to be very careful now. I know that now. Um, I guess I'll speak towards the now and then I'll backtrack, but um yeah, like I'm very cautious about what information I take on and what headspace I'm even in
Yeah.
before taking on or even just like listening in on my friends' situations. Um and I've always lived a very like I don't ask, don't tell. So like if I'm not asking, I would assume people wouldn't tell, but that's not always how people are. And some people just like to tell things and that's okay.
Yeah.
Um but I've gotten better at again setting that boundary to protect my peace and just making it clear that like hey, like I'm honestly just like not in the right space right now or whatever it is and just being transparent and being like I want to be there for you and like what you have to say matters,
Mhm.
but I can't be there for you right now based off of what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Like whether it's I need an hour, a day, whatever, but I've just gotten a lot better at again just like advocating for myself
Yeah.
and
Good for you.
sorry, excuse me, it was a hiccup, burp, and a yawn all at the same time.
Oh my.
But also just like yeah, like being transparent.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the past, I can think of a specific friend,
Mm.
and every time she went through a breakup, when I tell you it was the world's most explosive and dramatic thing. It didn't matter what time of day it was, she would call me and I needed to pick up because if I didn't answer, she'd call me multiple times.
Um,
Or she'd just get super explosive and like yell at me. Um,
Seems healthy.
oh, so healthy. Hence why we're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, and she was very combative. She would enter into my space, and granted, like I would welcome her, and I'd be like, "Hey, like I know you're going through a tough time. Like if you need the space, like by all means, like mi
Yeah.
casa es su casa." Um, but I gave her an inch, and she took like 100 miles. Um,
Yeah.
and because I had people pleasing tendencies. I mean, I technically still do, but I'm a lot
Yeah.
better for it now. But yeah, she saw that and she took full advantage of it and walked right over me. And yeah, that was tough.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've definitely had to get better at like protecting myself so I can be there for my
Yeah.
friends and family. But that all kind of ties right back into just being self-aware
Yes.
and
Yeah.
like being honest with yourself, like and knowing that it's okay to not be okay,
Hmm.
and therefore, and I know I've said this in past episodes, whether they've dropped or not yet, but at the end of the day, like it's that airplane theory, and I don't know why, but it resonates with me so much.
Airplane theory.
Yeah, where it's not really a theory, it's an airplane statement, I should say. Airplane safety
Okay.
statement. I should know this as a
Oh,
flight attendant. Anyways,
to put your mask on before
you
you put. Okay.
absolutely. You got to put
Yeah.
your oxygen mask on yourself before you help anyone else
Yeah.
because you are no good to anyone else if you are because you have no oxygen.
That
So
is true. Yeah.
you have to put it on yourself first in order for you to be able to help others. So you need to look out for you, and then once you are good, then you are able to at least then be there for the people that you
Yeah.
care about. And
Yeah.
it's tough, especially when it's close family, it's close friends. You want to be there for them.
Yeah.
You, no matter what, you want to show that you're loyal. You want to show that, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? But you still gotta, there,
Yeah.
there's gotta be a little bit of separation there.
Yeah.
And again, like
Definitely.
self-awareness and acknowledgement. Words are hard today. But yeah, okay. Uh, the next question I have for you. Um, what have you learned from I say your mental lows, but like the low points, whether it's the
Hmm.
crash outs, if you struggle with mental health, if you experience an
Hmm.
episode or anything like that, um, what is something that you have learned from those lows that you now can use to help you the next time you experience a breakup?
Okay. I learned what my triggers are,
Mm-hmm.
and once I learned that, I was able to, well, how I learned it is I broke down everything that happened before I did something that was not the most productive way to get over someone.
Yeah.
But once I broke that down, I was able to identify the triggers for me. And then when a trigger came up, I had a different, more productive coping mechanism at the ready, like ready
Hey.
to go,
Yeah.
so that I wouldn't revert to something that was not the best. And yeah, I think that is applicable with any of my lows. Usually there's a trigger.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, there's usually a trigger.
There is.
And being able to recognize that and being, like you said, self-aware and acknowledge it,
Yeah.
it works wonders. It makes a huge difference
It really does.
because then you're able to tackle it
Yeah.
with by yourself or with other people. You can talk to other people. I mean, I went to a therapist for many sessions when I was going through it, but that's because I knew that's what I needed. And there's nothing wrong with getting help for that.
Pro therapy over here.
Yeah,
Pro therapy.
yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And even therapists have therapists, so
Absolutely.
everyone needs it.
I always
Truly.
say that like therapists are like the personal trainers of the mind.
Yeah.
Like people will hire a personal trainer or a coach or whatever professional to seek advice to get better.
Yeah.
UFC fighters have coaches, basketball professionals have coaches, hockey players have coaches. Like you name it, everyone has a coach or someone that they seek to make themselves better.
Hmm.
So what difference is you seeking that for your mind? Your mind is a muscle, your brain is a muscle,
Yeah.
and why not strengthen that and make it better by seeking a professional
Yeah,
to,
there was actually a past relationship I had where he struggled with depression and anhedonia, just the works. And where was I going with that? That's a great. Okay, actually, I remember. Okay, so I remember how he said that he didn't want to go to therapy
Mhm.
because it's a waste of money. And I said, okay, but you go to the gym. And he said, yeah, because, physical health. And I'm like, okay, so you're investing in, it's an investment in your physical health.
Yeah.
Why not invest in your mental health?
Right.
It's still a health aspect of yourself.
Yeah.
So why is it so normalized to just focus on your physical and not your mental?
I know, and that's what's just so like I need everyone to just not okay, not everyone, but I need so many people to just like reality check themselves. You're not all great up there, okay? We all got stuff going on up there and we all could use some help. And sometimes having an unbiased and professional um being person be able to just kind of just put you in check, like make you realize things, like help you just work through some things. That doesn't make you less of a human. That doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you any other negative term or
Yeah.
like label that people think for themselves as to why not. And like honestly, I used to be that person that was like, I don't need therapy. And it wasn't because I didn't think it would work. I just didn't think I needed it, which is crazy because when I think about what I was going through in that moment when I said that,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. So like I think everyone can benefit from it, whether it's a couple sessions, whether it's a lifelong thing. Like it does matter. There's no like everyone's different.
Hmm.
Everyone's needs are different.
Yeah.
Um but exactly, if you're willing to invest in your physical health, and people will literally kill themselves just to obtain a certain aesthetic or look physically,
Yeah.
why are you not willing to don't kill yourselves over it, but like why are you not willing to put in that same passion and drive and like thirst for wanting your mental health to be
Yeah.
right and aesthetically pleasing? Because you'll hear people say it all the time. You can have somebody who's a perfect 10, whatever that perfect 10 looks like to you physically.
Hmm.
But if their personality or who they are on the inside is trash, if they're just a not great person, that instantly can drop their rating so many marks.
Yeah.
Whereas like sometimes you can have somebody who like physically, I don't know, maybe isn't like a 10, but it's whatever, but like their personality is amazing.
Personality makes a huge difference.
Oh my gosh, does it ever? And like, so I always say like you should want to work from the inside out.
Yeah.
And
Emotional intelligence is hot. It
oh
is
my
so sexy.
gosh, yeah. And like humor and
Mm.
being polite. Oh my gosh, having manners, caring,
Empathy. Yeah.
empathy,
Mhm.
sympathy. Like simple, simple terms and values and just
Yeah.
they're such simple concepts and I feel like they've just nowadays just gotten so lost,
They have. Yeah.
but so easy and make someone so attractive.
It does.
It
Yeah.
really does. And if
Hmm.
you think of any of some of the most attractive people that are not just good looking but also nice,
Mm.
they're people who usually exhibit those
Traits. Yeah.
traits and core values. And
Yeah.
so be that person, not
Yeah.
not just hot on the outside, be hot on the inside.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the goal, 2025. Be hot
That's
on
my
the inside.
motto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be hot on the inside and out.
Right?
Hmm.
For our next segment, which is called Unapologetically Selfish.
Love it.
And it is, I mean, the title, self explanatory, but just, dive in a little bit more.
Hmm.
It's where we just discuss different ways how we literally are just unapologetically selfish.
Yeah.
I think we live in a society nowadays where we are trained to, and we kind of spoke about it, like just fly midline.
Yeah.
And being selfish is seen as a negative thing, and
It is.
it doesn't have to be. Especially if it's in regards to if the end result can be to make you a better person.
Yeah.
So here we're just kind of diving into those things and finding ways to understand that and potentially learn some new things. So, my first question for you
Hmm.
is, have you ever stayed in a relationship even though you knew it was over?
Yes.
Oh,
I have.
can I ask why?
You can ask. No, okay. So at that time, I had never had a long-term relationship,
Yep.
and I mean, I was kind of teased for it by my brother, but I knew it wasn't like an actual. He was just being a big brother.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of got in my head that I hadn't, and I was like, "Oh, is there something wrong with me?" Because, well, don't all yet.
Okay.
I was more unapologetically selfish before,
Okay.
and that's why I hadn't. If anyone exhibited any signs that I was not interested in at all,
Yeah.
I'm out. Like one sign, I'm out.
Really?
Yeah, I jump ship a lot.
Okay.
If
Okay.
they're not if I knew they weren't the person, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I think I got to the point where I was like, oh, okay, it is me. Maybe I should actually work in
Yeah.
in relationships, work on it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing. I think you should work on relationships. You should try to salvage it. If you love that person or really like that person, you should try and work on it because relationships are not easy. They're really not. You're
Yeah.
never gonna get 100%. You're
Yeah.
gonna get 80%, and then you work on compromising and communication, and that helps a lot.
Yes.
So I think I was just trying to prove a point that I could be in a long-term relationship. And I got to a point where I couldn't anymore. I couldn't. I tried so hard, and then I tried even though I knew it was over and it should have been over. And then I ended it. So, but I think you should work on things, but to a certain extent.
Would you say that you were kind of holding on to that relationship for your own selfish reasons?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah.
To prove a point, because I'm stubborn,
Yeah.
like I said. So that was my thing. And I wanted to not do that again,
Yeah.
obviously. And when I met my last relationship, my last girlfriend, I there were some doubts at the beginning,
Fair.
but they weren't deal breakers to
Okay.
me. And I was like, it was the first lesbian relationship. Obviously, I was really in it.
Yeah.
And I found that I was working a lot and communicating a lot, but I was met with an equally communicative person,
Yeah,
which the other one I didn't.
fair.
So having both people working on it, communicating, it was great
Yeah,
because then you could get to a point where things were all good.
yeah.
So I didn't stay too well. I got broken up with, so obviously I didn't stay too long. Um, but I feel like now I'm kind of reverting back to if I'm not all in, if I'm not willing to work on it and I feel good about it,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna dip out.
And that's where I feel like people need to be selfish in relationships for the right way or for the
Yes.
right reasons.
Hmm.
Because I can think of a few people that have stayed in relationships or still are in relationships that it's like they know that they shouldn't
Yeah.
be in a relationship. We all know they shouldn't be in a relationship, but they're holding on. Um, I think kind of for their own selfish reasons, and not to say that like they're not a bad person for it, and it's not even like with malicious selfish intent. It's just they don't want to have to deal with the aftermath of a breakup. And so therefore they just hold on even though they know they should break up.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know, then there's like there's a flip side because I agree with you too. Like
Hmm.
relationships are hard and again, we live in a society of like instant gratification and so people are always out seeking the next best thing and I think that it's important that you do work towards things, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I mean, don't be selfish and just be like, on to the next one, because that's not healthy either.
Yeah.
I think that it is important to stick it through and try things as long as it's healthy, as long as like you are safe and it is not like toxic, manipulative,
Yeah.
abusive in any way. Um, then yeah, like I think it is worth sticking it through.
Hmm.
Because sometimes it's just a hump. You know what I mean? Like all relationships go through highs and lows.
They do.
And like
Yeah.
you can't appreciate the highs if you don't have any lows. Otherwise, you have a very boring relationship if it
Yeah.
just is.
Plateaued.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um and I actually don't remember where I saw this on. It might have been a show, might have been a TikTok video, like might have been on a podcast, but someone was speaking about like highs and lows in life and they used the oh my god, I'm brain's not braining today, so forgive me for not using the correct term, but like on the life support machine,
Yeah.
like where you can see the heart
Yeah.
waves,
The
you
heart
know.
monitor.
Thank you. And you know, it'll beep 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 at a constant rate, but you'll see it and it's tracking your highs and your lows, it's tracking your heart rate.
Yeah.
And it literally is saying like when are you dead? When it flatlines, when
Yeah.
it stays stagnant, and that means there's no nothing, you're done, you know what I mean? And so you need to have that low in order to go
Yeah.
back up and you need to be up in order to feel the low, and so like that constant up and down is what's keeping you alive. The
Yeah.
minute you are stagnant and still and
Yeah.
you flatline, you're dead. So
I really like that.
I know
I mean, it's a little depressing, but I like
yeah,
it.
it's a little dark, but if you can sit through the darkness, there's a little bit of a silver
There's some
lining,
meaning there. Yeah.
some positivity in there. You just got to dig a little bit to find it. But yeah, no. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
In that you know sometimes you gotta. Sometimes it's okay to be selfish. You know what I mean, and it's
Yeah.
for the best. But
But there's always a line.
absolutely balance.
Yeah.
All about
And
balance.
usually you know what the line is.
Yes.
If
Don't.
you do anything about it, that's different. But you
Yes.
know where the line is. You can feel it.
Exactly. Um, which brings me to the next question.
Mhm.
Kind of leads into that. Do you think there is a wrong reason for breaking up with someone? Ah,
Is there a wrong reason? Well, yeah, there's wrong reasons. Um, okay. Well,
trigger alert.
no, I mean, if you're wanting to explore other like sexual partners, if you love that person but you want to, get out there because I don't know, you want to be adventurous with other people,
Yeah.
I think that's a wrong reason.
Yeah.
I really think you should dig deep into why you feel the need to.
Seek that validation or
Yeah.
seek that whatever from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless, it's a polyamorous couple or you broach that subject and both
Yeah.
parties are consenting to it.
Yeah.
But in a monogamous relationship, I don't think that's a good reason to break
It's
up with
unfair.
someone. Yeah, it's totally unfair. I think that's something that is definitely deeper.
Yeah.
There's got to be a deeper reason to it.
And like to tail on to that, or I guess not really tail on, but to add on to that.
I got you.
And that's thank you. I appreciate you. Again, my brain is not braining anymore. I think something that I don't agree with people breaking up with people for is over like superficial things. For
Yeah.
example, like weight or haircuts, which believe it or not, there are people who've broken up with people because they don't like their haircut or
Okay, hair grows back.
you know what I mean? But like just trivial things that it's
Yeah.
like that can change. And I speak from experience because like I've been with partners that because I was heavier and when I was at my heavier weight, they were embarrassed to be with me.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, like I said, I used to date some class A people.
Um,
Um,
I will say one thing.
yeah,
Um, okay, for me,
yeah,
weight was never anything that I would break up with someone over.
yeah,
I mean, both my girlfriend and my ex-girlfriend, gained a lot in the relationship, healthy relationship weight. But I think there's a difference between, weight fluctuations and then not living a healthy lifestyle. So if I wanted to, I prioritized working out and eating healthy and
yeah,
like balance, obviously.
absolutely.
Um, I would want, I value that, so I would want that in a partner.
Yes.
And if someone started out that way and then stopped,
Yeah.
I think that's what I would have an issue with, not
Yeah.
necessarily
The
weight.
appearance.
Yeah, appearance. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of that's what I mean. Like it's more the appearance thing where
Yeah.
it's again, just looking at it from a superficial standpoint, like when I had gained my I guess my last large amount of weight. I remember it kind of started up during COVID, and that is when I had got diagnosed with PCOS. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, it stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it causes a whole whack of situations going on in your body. Hormonal is the biggest one, and as a female, hormones literally dictate just about everything that a woman does
Yes.
when she becomes an adult, and it unfortunately caused me to gain extreme amounts of weight in absurdly fast amounts of time that no amount of working out or diet could fix. I was dropped down to like at one point, at the worst point, a 1,200 calorie a day diet. I was working out 2 times a day and I was still putting on weight. Like it was
Wow.
disgusting. And like anyone else, they would be like skin and bones in a matter of no
Yeah,
time. But again, hormones are a crazy, crazy thing.
they really are. Yeah.
They, while you think everything will be good, like, anyways, point being, um, yeah, so I had, a partner that didn't like the way I looked, for just that aesthetic reason. And it wasn't
Mm.
because my ambition or my motivation changed. That
Yeah.
always was there. And anyone who knows me knows I've always loved going to the gym. I've
You
always
have, yeah.
prioritized my health and fitness. Um, and like I enjoy eating healthy. So it's not like anything on that aspect changed. It was things out of my control.
Yeah.
And because I didn't fit the aesthetic look for what this person was going for, especially since they were getting a lot more exposure, especially on social media. Um,
And that's why.
yeah, and they use that
Oh my
encouragement.
gosh, I think I
You
know.
know who it is. Yeah,
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 I know
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And
Disappointed.
I mean, are we surprised?
No, but still.
I know. It's okay. But
It
anyway,
led you here. Yeah, so.
it's good. We're okay. We're moved on.
But yeah, no. So it's things like that that I think for me I take personally triggering because like
Yeah,
I
I can see
also,
that.
funny enough, was like scrolling on, I think it no, it was Facebook Reels. Show my age. Anyways, but yeah, I was scrolling on Facebook and I came across this one page, this one account, and it's this guy, and he was just talking about how he used to be like 400 and something pounds, and
Wow.
he lost the weight, and he's now like at a healthy weight for himself, and
Good.
he, you know what I mean, he changed things for the best, but he also mentioned how like the mother of his children, like both of them left him because of how he looked aesthetically.
Uh,
And again, I just feel like weight is such a trivial thing to break up with someone over, or like just aesthetics or appearance, period. Like
yeah.
hair, friggin' body shape, like things,
Acne.
yeah, like things that
Yeah.
people can't control, or even can control. It's like, and again, I'll use myself as an example. Like I'm now down, I think, I mean, don't quote me, that salad and charcuterie board probably put on a couple
Oh my.
pounds. But before that, I was basically like, I've been down about 100 pounds now. Since I really started like tracking my fitness journey and like, I
Wow.
guess me at my high, like at my highest weight recorded. And I'm still me, if not just better, because I worked on up here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like I said, the more I worked on up here, everything else just kind of followed pursuit.
Hmm.
Um, but like, and that's why I really appreciate my partner who I have right now because like he was with me when I was thicker and bigger and loved me just the same as he does now that
Yeah.
I am thinner. If anything, he's upset that I've lost weight because he's like, I have nothing to pinch onto now.
Oh
Like,
my
I don't know what's up with
gosh.
you men liking to pinch the side bits, okay? But these are not pinchable areas. Leave them alone. No pinch zone. 2025, stop pinching girl sides.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm just saying, if it becomes a hashtag, remember who started
Oh
it.
my goodness.
So, but,
I believe it. Yeah.
thank you. But yeah, no. So it's like I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because he loved me. I
That's
want.
not
I'm not,
wholesome.
yeah, I'm not even gonna say at my worst because like I loved myself at that
Yeah.
point too. You know what I mean? And like I was proud because I knew the work I was putting in. I still like prioritized going to the gym and
Yeah.
staying healthy and keeping up with those healthy habits. So I loved who I was then and I love who I am now.
Hmm.
I just look a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't change who you are.
Absolutely. And I love my partner, who I have now for that because again, he's loved me in all those stages
Yeah.
and didn't let something trivial like that
Good.
get in the way.
Yeah.
And more people need to be like
Yeah.
that. um,
Yeah.
but either way, yeah. I think those are stupid reasons to break up with someone.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
Yeah. But I agree too though, but if ambition is a thing, like I don't know if it's necessarily something I'd break up with them right away over.
No, it's more of a if a habit that consistently doesn't align with your
Yeah,
values, and you voice, like communicate. Oh my goodness. Just
absolutely.
communicate. It's not that hard. You just
Absolutely.
build it up in your head. It's not that hard.
Exactly. And that's just it. Like if
Yeah.
it's not generally going against your core values as who you are,
Mm-hmm.
I think if you just communicate with that person, and try to work with them, usually, especially if
Yeah.
they love you and you love them, or you have like those strong feelings for each other,
Yeah.
you can come to a compromise,
Yeah.
of some sort. Uh, but you got to be willing to put in the work,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is obviously easier said than done. But yeah, no, I feel like again, people are so quick to break up with people over
They are.
silly reasons, and it's like,
And I don't even think it's the silly reasons. I think they use that as a front.
mm,
I really think they do.
to like hide from things that they don't want to deal with
Yeah,
themselves.
their own insecurities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People do not like being like,
Reflected
yeah,
and shown the parts of them that they aren't fully comfortable seeing yet or
yeah.
facing.
Like to quote the late MJ, like I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Ooh. Yeah, right. So like you gotta have that conversation with the person in the mirror, and you
Yeah.
gotta work on that person first. Like at the end
Yeah.
of the day, like the moral of the story, the moral of life, you gotta heal you. You gotta work on you. You gotta take
Yeah.
accountability and responsibility.
once you kind of deal with all you got going on here, everything else just becomes so much easier.
Yeah.
It honestly really truly does. And like I'm a walking testament for that because again, the more I heal and work on my traumas and past, like my life has just gotten so much more peaceful and better and positive. And
Yeah.
the people in my life, they see it. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you're glowing. You're blah blah." And I'm like, "I am. It's called sweat." But it's
Oh
like,
my god.
but no, like it really is like I understand what they mean. Where it's
Yeah,
like, 'cause I said that about you.
you
I
did.
literally said about you today. Like I
Yeah.
haven't seen her in 3 months almost.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and first time I saw her, I was just like, it was like a beam of sunshine. I was like,
Oh
"Oh, like where's my sunglasses?"
my gosh.
But honestly, like you were glowing, and it's again just doing that work
Yeah,
on the inside on you,
exactly.
and that makes it just
It really does. Yeah.
yeah.
And it opens yourself up to new opportunities and new
Oh yeah.
people to integrate in your life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like you truly attract what you are, or you are what you attract.
Yes.
Whatever the phrase is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
But yeah, and like I just it's so true because again, who I was, let's say like 5 years ago,
Hmm.
and what I was attracting, and if I think about where I was mentally versus now, and the people that I tend to attract in my life, and where I'm at mentally,
Yeah.
worlds of difference.
Yeah.
Like two worlds like running parallel. They would never collide. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I love that. Alrighty. Now it's for the fun stuff. Okay, so this next segment is called Power to the People. It's where I reach out to people on my social media and I ask them questions.
That's so oh, that's so exciting.
Yes,
Okay.
and I get their opinions. And I know you're excited because
Yeah.
you contributed.
Yeah.
So I did like a mass question asking of a
Mhm.
bunch of variety of questions, polls, and asked the people on my social media to answer them and give their opinion.
Mhm.
And as promised, everything is completely anonymous. And to be brutally honest, as I was typing these all in, I couldn't even tell you who said what anymore. I just was like copy paste, copy paste. Um, but yeah, so one of the prompts I have picked, I've gathered all of the responses from you lovely people. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share, okay, that, well, the prompt was tell me your ick.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to share the icks of the
Oh,
people.
I'm so excited.
Okay. And I want you to tell me simply just yay or nay, yes or
Okay.
no, if you think it is breakup worthy.
Damn.
Okay.
I get to be a part of this. Oh my god.
And you're gonna come across your own. So
Yeah.
yeah. So these icks are so random.
Okay.
um, and they're yeah, so random. Funny enough, actually I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna preface it. I'll tell you off camera. Again,
Oh
these
my
are
gosh. I gotta remind you. You
you do
got a
have to
couple
remind me
things.
because you know I totally have squirrel brain.
A little
um,
bit, yeah.
but guys, yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna read you the X,
Okay.
um, and then I'll just read it out, and then you can tell me if you think it's like breakup worthy or not.
Okay.
And I might rephrase or paraphrase it
Yeah.
for it to apply.
Okay.
Okay, so
Sounds good.
the first one, and for anyone watching on YouTube, I'm reading off my laptop here. That's why I'm focused in here. Okay. Uh, First one: couples that can't communicate and then complain when shit gets complicated. So I guess if you were that one of the people in that relationship,
Oh
is that worth breaking up over? Yay or
gosh.
nay?
Can I say depends?
No.
Oh,
I need a yes or a no.
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 I don't think so.
I feel like if you're gonna say depends, I feel like depends falls into the no category because it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's wiggle room.
Exactly. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
situational. But I mean that's
Not
first one.
breakup worthy.
Okay. It's an A. Rude people. There's just not enough kindness in the world.
Oh
So if
gosh.
your partner was rude,
Yeah.
like to the core,
Yeah.
yeah, breakup worthy.
Yeah.
I agree. I
I don't
can't.
even know if I'd get into a relationship with someone like that.
I don't know. Sometimes like people put on fronts, like they seem
That is
really
true.
nice up front at
Yeah.
first, and then like my ex.
Well, ugh. Yeah, yeah.
I
Breakup
agree.
worthy.
I agree. Um, okay. Men who don't pick you up on a first date, like bye.
Oh my god.
I'm reading it as I see it.
Oh, okay.
Or women, people.
Well, that's different because with women, it's like equal.
Okay.
There's
That
not.
I've I watched an interview and it was I don't know who was interviewing her, but anyways, she was a female, hence
Mhm.
the she. She's lesbian, and she was more mask presenting.
Mhm.
Um, and she said that something she struggled with is that a lot of the women that she dated, because she was mask presenting, expected her to fill that role of a man, and
They're,
so pay for dates, open car doors, essentially be a man without being a man.
you know what? They were probably bisexuals.
Hey, I cannot confirm nor deny. I'm just
I
simply repeating what I saw.
Yes. Well, more masculine presenting women are still women,
Hmm.
and they still deserve all the that type of treatment. I don't think it's designated for one type of person.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what she was saying. She was saying that
yeah.
she still wants to be treated that way too. And I mean, in fairness, and I guess it just depends on your views on like traditional or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, I have no problem with, like, I would consider myself a pretty traditional person,
Yeah.
but I also still think that there's nothing wrong with like doing those things
Yeah.
for my partner. Like,
Yeah.
they don't need to, it's not like a man's role to
No.
treat someone with kindness, or you know what I mean, just do
Do
something
something
nice.
special and
Yeah,
kind for them. Yeah.
literally, like it's not a one-way street. So
Yeah. So I would say not breakup worthy.
no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Um, you can have your preferences, obviously, but personally, I don't think that's
Yeah,
breakup
absolutely.
worthy. Yeah.
And I laughed when I read this one because I know the person who,
Oh yeah.
this one I remember, this one I know the person
Well,
who
how can you forget? Like, bye.
yes, and they had a personal situation specific to that exact
Oh,
situation,
so PTSD. Okay.
but not even, because it
No.
worked out for the better.
Oh,
So
what
it's just, it's so funny, but I understand why this person
okay.
said what they said. Um,
Fair.
and it's just funny when I think about it, but like I understand what they're trying to say, and I
Yeah.
understand like their mindset and
Okay.
logic behind it. Um, okay, body odor.
No, you can communicate. Communicate. Communicate.
You're nice. For me,
Frickin' communicate.
I think that's breakup worthy for me.
Really?
I mean, yeah, why are you stinking?
Well, it could be like a health issue.
Deodorant,
No,
antiperspirant.
if it's a
Stop eating
health.
garlic.
No.
Stop eating onions. I'm
Well,
sorry. Okay, I'm
see,
being an asshole.
see,
I'm being an asshole.
but these are things that they can change.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
But if okay, I think
if I was on a first date and they stunk, yeah, that would be like a red flag for me.
fair.
Because why wouldn't you put your best foot forward and make sure that you smell good? Also, I'm a big like smell person. So I'm perfume all the
Yeah.
time, scented lotions,
Yeah.
everything.
All
And
good.
if I'm going on a date, I'm going to take the extra time to present myself in a very good way, especially like with all
Absolutely.
the senses.
Absolutely.
And I think that if it's something that like happens during the relationship,
Hmm.
like arises, I think that's different. I think
Yeah.
that's something you can have a conversation about.
Fair. Fair.
So you're just like quick to jump the gun. You're like,
Listen, me and my nose. This is my. I protect this with my life. Okay, I am so sensitive. So
oh,
like, yeah, no. But I do also understand what you're saying, because like I think there's a difference between like, okay, if it's like a medical condition and like first date, they're like, okay, look, I'm gonna let you know, just
yeah,
get the elephant out of the room. You probably smell something. This is what it is. Working
oh,
on it. Can't help it.
yeah,
And like they checked off every other box and that was the only thing. I might be willing to try and find a compromise if I was truly feeling it.
hmm
Um, in terms of like an actual relationship and like breakup worthy, I think again it would just depend. Like,
if it can't, like, yeah,
well, because like if it's just like, because don't get me wrong, we all have our days where
yeah,
like we're chilling at home, we're not going anywhere. maybe forget to like reapply deodorant or like you skip a shower. I don't know what it is, but like whatever, okay? And you're just a little green. Like that's not a permanent thing. So no,
Yeah.
it's not breakup worthy.
But if it's permanent, okay, I can see where you're coming
Like if
from.
it's becoming it's like a habit, like those like bad habits. If it's
Yeah.
something where it's like you're choosing to neglect self-care, you're choosing to not do those things, like you're just like, nope, I don't want to brush my teeth anymore. And there's no
Oh
like you
my
can't provide me with
gosh.
a real rhyme or reason, or you're like, I'm not gonna shower anymore. I'm not gonna put on like whatever it is.
Yeah.
And like clearly there's a deeper issue there, and then I'm trying to help you or work through it with you, and you're just not getting it. Like there gets a point where it's like, hey,
I get that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you don't even love yourself, so like how can I love you?
Damn. We started with body odor. We got that deep with it.
I just had to justify my yes.
That's fair. Yeah. I get
Okay.
that.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I should read this one, but I did say that all responses are welcome.
Oh no. Oh
This
no.
is gonna come back and get me.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
No, 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 no. No, do it.
Here's why. Because I'm not gonna say who wrote this to protect
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. Okay.
But the and I'll read it to you after and I'll explain why after, but
Okay.
the ick that they wrote is in regards to somebody that many people I interact with know, i.e., a coworker.
Okay.
And if another coworker hears this and then they hear me say this, even though this isn't my view, me
Okay.
sharing that,
And there's no like general way that you could.
no,
Okay.
no. I
Okay.
mean, like, I'd have to go like deep. It'd be a whole. I just no.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can tell me after.
yeah. Sorry, guys. You're not missing much, but okay. Um, this one a bit of a hot topic, hot
Oh,
take.
okay.
Yeah. They put girly ass men.
Okay.
I think this could be viewed in different ways, but
I think if that's not what you're into, then why are you dating them to begin with?
fair.
I think that nothing wrong. I think there's so much toxic masculinity out there,
Yeah.
but I also think that guys are using that as an excuse to, you know, not do anything and not like
Mm.
put in effort.
Okay. Yeah.
I see that a lot
Yeah.
where they're like, "Oh, well, I don't want to pay for dinner this one time or ever like pay for okay. Let me okay. In a relationship I was in,
Yeah.
never paid for dinner, never, well, just his. We would always split it.
Hmm.
And I'm all for splitting here and there, but sometimes like I want to treat him
Yeah.
and sometimes I'd like him to treat me or
Absolutely.
like gifts, even small gifts, handmade gifts, anything like that. He used it as an excuse to not do anything.
I don't.
But if someone's more like feminine as a man, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think.
No, and I feel like it can be one of those subjective things. Like, okay, do I have preferences? Sure.
Hmm.
And are there things that maybe females tend to do more traditionally than men that maybe some men do now that I just personally have a preference I don't like?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not shitting on anyone who does that. I just personally don't. I don't think I could date somebody who does that said thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not throwing out specifics. Okay, so
Don't come at her.
literally, whatever. If your mind goes somewhere, that's on you. I didn't say anything specific. but but at the same time, um, again, I think it just depends. Like if I was dating you and you were one way, and then out of nowhere you just switched into something
Like a
else. But
Kardashian
I was
situation.
just about to say like the Kris Kardashian and
Yeah.
Bruce Jenner, who's now Caitlyn Jenner, situation. That is kind of fair because you were dating someone because they fit something that you liked
Yeah.
and wanted, and then they changed, which is on their own accord, and that's fine. But if they're not consulting you and you kind of get blindsided, it's like, how is that fair to you? Because you liked a specific thing, you were dating someone for a
Yeah.
specific reason, and then it's almost like you got lied to, and then and then blindsided and almost embarrassed because like you just had no say in it, and
Yeah.
like people tend to lump partners together and they assume like what the left hand does the right hand must know,
They
which
do, don't they?
yeah, which is
Yeah.
so not true.
It's not, no.
Like so not true. um so yeah, I feel like in situations like that it's like
I,
You know what I mean? Like if you kind of
mhm.
get, if you feel like you're getting lied to, and like,
That's different.
yeah, you start dating one person, and like, a lot of the things we've kind of touched on,
Yeah.
it starts one way and it goes another. I can see why you might be like,
Then that would be, yeah, breakup worthy.
exactly.
Hmm.
But I get that. And mind you, when these people were saying these icks, they weren't putting it in the mindset of like
Breakup.
they would break up with someone over
Yeah.
it. So don't come for anybody or don't say I'm twisting your words. I just took the prompt and turned
Applied
it,
it.
yeah, and applied it to a
Yeah.
different way. But I'm not saying that what you guys were stating is
Breakup worthy. Yeah.
exactly. Okay. Oh, tell me your ick. Myself. The older I get, the more random hairs I find. Long hair growing on my love handle. Ick. I mean, that's not really breakup worthy, but yeah, I'll just share that one with you. I don't think we need to.
Tweezers. Um, you can shave it.
Make it back
Um,
even thicker. You know that myth. I don't think it's a myth.
I,
I think it's true.
I don't know if it is. Maybe
Uh,
my
I,
blonde fine hair
uh,
is a bit different. Not to brag, but
must be nice.
yeah. No, I okay, maybe you should do some self work, I think. I say this in the nicest way possible, but if you find yourself an ick, then how are you gonna feel confident around someone or like feel sexy or feel um good in your own skin? Like,
Fair.
but that starts in here, not on the outside.
That is true. Um,
What else we got?
I didn't really understand this one, but like I said, I wrote down everything.
Oh, why? Why did you write down everything?
Well, because I told the people I would all answers are
Alright.
acceptable and appreciated.
This is your fault. Let's hear it.
Okay. Touching another guy's ball and ass sweat from 30 seconds prior. I don't know.
You people
Oh,
okay.
wait, hold on. Because I think, okay, if memory serves me correctly, I think that this person wrote it in two. I'm gonna read the second one, and I'm gonna read it as one. Hold, stay with me here, everyone. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
just that alone.
Improving it right. That was a lot. That's what my brain is like 24/7. Okay. So I'm gonna read the second prompt because I think they go hand in hand.
Okay.
And I also wrote some of these backwards, so
Nice.
yeah. Uh so when I go into the sauna and guys don't wear underwear or sit on a towel, dot dot dot, your balls and asshole are touching another guy's ball and ass sweat from 30 seconds prior. Boom. That's what it was supposed to
There
say.
you go.
He just did it in two separate. They just did it in two separate. Obviously, it's a he. He just spoke about the sauna. But anyways, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna tweak it a bit. Okay,
Okay.
if you found out that your partner was one of those guys that, like, let's say went and did a workout,
Hmm.
okay, got really sweaty, like dripping, like you can wring out their shirt, and then goes and sits in the sauna, butt naked, no shower, all the cracks and crevices just smack onto that dry sauna
Why are
wood.
you painting like a word picture here? Like
Because I need you to really fully understand what this poor human is probably envisioning.
okay.
Yeah, struggling. But yeah, and then your partner then peeled themselves off of said sauna, and someone else has to sit in it. Would you just dating?
If I knew that, if I knew that,
And they didn't want to change it. Like, gotta go,
bye.
gotta go. I agree.
Bye.
You're a monster. Who does that? Like,
Yeah, like
that's
respect the space.
that's like a sick fetish. Like, I'm not trying to like kink shame, but like that's weird. Why are you? Not all germs need to be spread
If
and
that's a
shared.
kink, like do it on your own time.
Not in public.
Not in no.
Like buy your own sauna and do that. And I don't know, invite randoms.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm
We're
thinking
getting down
way,
this
yeah, I'm
yeah,
thinking way too into
rabbit hole
this and
here.
giving this way too much energy. Okay. Moving on. Wiping down gym equipment or putting back weight or like not putting back weights.
You know, so many people do it. I don't do it
Yeah.
because that does bug me.
Mm-hmm.
But So many people do. I wouldn't break up over.
I want to
Yeah.
break up with it. I definitely unrack my stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I would be lying to you if I said there wasn't a few times. And like benches, anything that I sweat on, I absolutely will wipe down. But
Weights are hard too.
like some things it's just like,
Yeah.
especially if I only like touched it like one time. Like maybe I just did one set
That's
and I was like,
yeah.
I can't do it anymore. Or like, I don't know, it's just like a quick warm up.
That's different. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, do I wipe down every single thing I touch? No. But I try to, especially if I know I was like using something a lot, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like just to be courteous. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Fair
wouldn't
enough.
break up with someone over that. Bad hygiene.
I think that goes into body odor.
Yeah,
I would say if they don't change it, yes.
fair. And I think again,
Yeah.
it depends on what that hygiene is. Like
Yeah.
if it's like I don't know, some people have a weird aversion to like antiperspirant over deodorant, for
Mm,
example. That doesn't mean you have
okay.
bad hygiene. Or some people just don't like wearing deodorant or antiperspirant. Um,
Okay.
I know, but also like I've dated people who like they just don't sweat and they just don't really get smelly.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I wish I knew
Yeah.
what that was like, but I am like the opposite. I think I took their sweat plus their past 10 ancestors along with my
Oh
own.
my
I sweat so
god.
much. I am a sweaty girl, okay? I'm just a girl, but I'm also so sweaty. I'm getting a shirt that says that. But anyways, um
Please do. I need that.
thank you. I will. Okay.
Oh,
Copyright. But yeah, no. So like if it's something like that, again, I can like some things I can turn a blind eye to, but like
yeah.
if it's like bad hygiene overall and it's just like one thing after another,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good. Um,
What
a
else?
messy room or a messy home.
Okay. There are degrees.
Fair. Okay, so let's just use the extremes. Like if it's
Extreme, yeah, I can't. If they won't, I can't. I would never go over there, and I wouldn't feel comfortable even like touching them. Oh no.
I have
If I know they're
yeah,
messy,
yeah.
oh,
Listen,
that's a hard one.
I won't expose too much, but
You
those
know
who know me,
someone.
you've heard my rants.
Well, yeah, but you.
But we're not gonna dive into it, but
Okay, okay.
you know you've heard my
Yeah.
rants. Certain other people have heard my rants. They know my feelings towards messes,
Yeah.
especially unnecessary messes, especially in certain areas of the house.
Yeah.
Um, and like, yeah, like I mean, I've left a roommate situation because homes are messy. So like,
Yeah.
a relationship would be no different. Like, if it was
Definitely.
extreme, yeah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Because like, I can understand a mess. We all have our moments, but it's like, I feel like there gets to a point where it's like you within yourself should realize you should clean that
Yeah.
before it even gets to that extreme level. So like
Yeah.
what is not clicking in your brain that you missed
Well,
that massive gap?
a messy environment, I think, is a reflection of your brain. I think your environment is a reflection of your brain.
Oh,
So if
absolutely.
you make your place like your sanctuary, if you make it very peaceful, I think that shows a lot about who you are
Yeah,
and your demeanor and yeah, your personality.
I agree. And again, there's like a difference between like clutter and just like normal mess.
Yes.
Like
Then
my
like,
closet. It's messy, but it's not like you're not gonna find rodents or
oh
like
my God.
stale things or like no, it's just clothes are everywhere. And
Yeah.
honestly, they're all clean because I would never let my dirty clothes pile up. Like that
Yeah.
would send me to the roof. So it's just all my clean clothes that I just couldn't
Through
decide what
there.
to wear. And you know, I'm just a
Yeah.
girl. I'm just a girl. I'm
Yeah.
just a girl. And so
Valid point. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, no, if it's like
Uh,
bugs,
oh,
rodents,
okay.
mold, again, the extremes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Because you need to select this list. Actually, we're almost
Yes.
done. Lying. People behind afraid of having hard conversations. Oh, I think they meant to say being. Okay, so lying. People being afraid of having hard conversations. So if your partner continuously lied,
Yes.
love it. Okay,
Yes.
moving on. Love it because I'm in the same boat. We don't even need to dive in.
No.
Self-explanatory. Okay. Okay. Treating customer service employees
Yes.
poorly.
I have a story. I went on a Tinder date many moons ago,
Yeah.
and they made a lot of inappropriate comments to the waitress, and I was so disgusted by them. I never talked to them again.
I don't like that,
Yeah,
especially being on the receiving end because as a server, as a bartender,
yeah,
like, ugh,
disgusting.
just ick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gone.
just
Bye.
and yeah, like I can understand if you're getting bad customer service and you get a little frustrated. I mean, even then, you should never be disrespecting someone.
No,
But I can understand why you might be a little bit more frustrated. But yeah, no, just like treating
no.
oh yeah, I didn't.
We're getting riled up.
Yeah, we are like trigger alert. um, okay, the last one is being hypocritical.
Okay. I'm gonna say that I'm hypocritical
Okay,
for saying this.
okay, okay. The
Okay.
hypocrite calling the hypocrite's a hypocrite. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
no, seriously.
Uh,
I can be a hypocrite at times,
yeah.
but it's one of my pet peeves.
Okay.
However, I wouldn't break up over it. I keep saying messing that.
Freak over up.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But no, I wouldn't break up, but it is a pet peeve of mine. It does bug me.
I think some things it's a no. If it was like everything, then yes.
Yeah.
Like if it was one of those things where my partner was like, you can't go to the club, but then they're out of the club every night,
Yeah.
or they were like, you shouldn't be drinking, but then they're drinking whenever they want,
Yeah.
like that type of hypocrisy. And if it seems to be like everything, like they set rules for me, but then those rules don't apply for them, like things like that, that for me is breakup
That's,
worthy.
yeah, no, I get that because that's more of a controlling, manipulative situation rather than a, well, I mean, it is hypocritical, but it's
It's
deeper,
them,
it's more toxic.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Whereas like if it's just kind of like they're
little
like,
things. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, little things.
Then it's just annoying.
Yeah, then it's kind of just like you're silly. Okay, so we're gonna end the segment with a quick game of Would You Rather.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so I'm gonna ask you some Would You Rather questions,
Okay.
and you are going to just tell me which one you'd rather do. All
Okay.
right.
Are you laughing because should I be scared? High pitched voice. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, Would you rather? You ready?
Yes. Yeah, I am.
Okay. Would you rather take back your ex, one of your exes, either of your exes, all of your exes,
Okay.
or shave your head into a cul-de-sac? That's where you shave just the top part. Like, you know when like some men are like balding and they have the top part are bald and it's all just the
Why?
yeah.
What did you say?
I said, I said which one? Like which one would you pick?
Oh,
Would
I
you
was
rather?
okay.
No, not which ex. Which one?
Oh, we get. Oh, but
I'm
hair grows back.
doing the cul-de-sac. Give me a toupee. I ain't taking none of my exes back.
Oh, you know what? Oh, having wigs are cool. Yeah, you know what? Cul-de-sac me.
Cul-de-sac me up, baby. I'm not taking my exes back. Hell no. Okay, would you rather get dumped or be the one to break up with someone?
You know what? I've thought about this a lot, and
Yeah.
I always would prefer to get dumped because I hate hurting people that I care about. I hate it. I hate seeing them break. Oh, it hurts my heart.
I have always said that as well. Like for me, I would rather be the one to be dumped
Yeah.
or like get dumped. Yeah, get dumped. Um, because I know my strength. I know what I can handle, and I've overcome so much. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I know that like I'll be fine.
Character building.
Absolutely. But there are some people who like
Yeah.
yeah, like it's they don't handle things as well.
Mhm.
And I don't like causing hurt for people. I don't like hurting people, especially people that I care
Yeah.
about. Like even if I'm wanting like even if I feel like hey, we need to break up, I still have love for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To some degree. Even like my exes, I don't want you back. At
Yeah.
some point or another, I had love for you. So it's like I would not want to cause hurt on anyone that I care about,
Mhm.
even if that care has dwindled.
Yeah.
um, but now, and again, kind of just like, after a podcast and like talking about being unapologetically selfish,
Hmm.
also, I feel like sometimes when you have that mindset, people kind of hold on to that a little too strongly.
Yeah.
And then again, they stay in relationships that they should be letting go of out
Yeah.
of fear of hurting people. And it's like sometimes you're
Yeah.
causing more harm than good
Hmm.
than
Even if you have a preference, you still have to do
what's right.
what's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. That's a great way of putting it. But
Mhm.
yeah, okay. And my next one for you. Would you rather have your ex oh sorry, this is gonna hit home for you. I'm sorry. Okay. Would you rather have your ex block you and move on immediately or have your ex text you nonstop because they can't move on?
I'm the ex that ended up moving on quick. Well, I don't know what she's up to, but
Yeah.
um okay. Can I read that?
Yeah. Number four.
Oh, you know what? Block you and move on
Yeah.
because the more reminders, the more either guilty I'm gonna feel
Yeah.
or the more, I don't know,
You relive that hurt.
vulnerable. Yeah,
Yeah.
you really do.
You just every time you open that wound, you just keep
You can't heal.
no, because it's just like you just keep picking off the scab, and the scab's not ready
Yeah.
to be picked. I mean, don't pick your scabs; it's gross. But and also your body. That moving on. Point being, yeah, don't just gotta let it just do its thing. So
Yeah.
out of sight, out of mind.
Block me.
Damn right,
If you move on, I won't even know because you're gone.
for real.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I agree with
exactly.
you. Okay, this one's a bit of a messed up one.
Oh,
I honestly don't even know what I would say.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather have an ex hook up with one of your parents or
What?
you hook up with one of your ex's parents? I know. I found it on the internet. Okay, the internet's a weird place, but yeah.
Huh. I'd rather hook up with one of their parents. Not that any of them were like,
Worth it,
yeah,
but it's just
maybe a sibling. There's a sibling. I
no. I
probably.
did not say
I
sibling.
know.
I
I
said
know.
parents.
um. Uh,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
ah, but it would be too weird. It would be too weird if they hooked up with my parents.
Yeah,
One of
because
them,
you still
not
have a
both of them.
relationship with your parents
Yeah, and I have to see them.
and face them, whereas
Yeah.
like you're
If I do it, then I can just dip out
and
and
never talk to them.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then I messed it up for them, but
yeah, it's still weird though. Like I think back
it
to my
is.
exes and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm okay.
Okay, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, hey,
I'm
we
secure
listen
in
and we
my
don't
yeah.
judge. I'm
I'm
just,
secure in that decision.
I'm just saying. I personally don't think I can answer that question. I have zero. I plead the fifth.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Alrighty, Alex.
Yeah.
So we're in our last segment, okay?
Yeah.
And it's called the Confidence Catalyst.
Okay.
All right. So with this segment, every podcast, I have a word, okay? A
Okay.
word or a phrase.
Mhm.
Um, I kind of explain the meaning behind it,
Mhm.
and it kind of just sums up everything that we spoke about in that episode. And then it's just something to kind of keep in mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whether it's like it resonates with you, and it's just something that you just remember, or I don't know, just in your
Okay.
day to day, like it might reappear, but
Yeah.
it's just something to kind of boost that confidence and kind of give you a little bit more reassurance into what we just spoke about.
Okay.
And for all the listeners, if you're listening and you don't know what just happened, I just yanked my own hair. Anyways, okay, so this confidence catalyst. Oh my god, send
It's
me
been a
to
day.
bed. This confidence catalyst.
Mhm.
It's two words. Okay. Um, it's detach and shift.
Okay.
Okay. Because again, I don't think breakups always have to be a bad thing.
No.
And I'm all for changing the narrative, and changing the perspective of certain words. And
Yeah.
like not all these words with negative connotations have to be negative. Um, and so I think sometimes it's just best to detach and shift. And I
Yeah.
found a really cute kind of like quote on Pinterest.
Okay.
And I thought I would share it because it
Yeah.
relates to that whole idea. And so it says, as you are shifting, you will begin to realize that you are not the same person you used to be. The things you used to tolerate have become intolerable. When you once remained quiet, you are now speaking your truth. Where you once battled and argued, you are now choosing to remain silent. You are beginning to understand the value of your voice, and there are some situations that no longer deserve your time, energy, and focus. Detach and shift.
I like it.
Yeah,
I really like that.
right? And I
Hmm.
was like, I feel like when
I
you
would have.
break up,
Yeah.
I mean, that should be the goal. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, gotta go through little puddles and some hiccups to get there,
Yes.
but ultimately, like that should be, I kind of would hope, what you gain and get to take away from
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah. It was like I was saying before, is every breakup is bringing you closer to your person,
Yeah,
and every failure that you have is bringing you closer to success.
absolutely.
And you just have to take what you can from it
Yeah,
and learn and move on to bigger, better things. And that's the best you can do. That's all you can do.
exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Alex, thank you so much
Of
for joining
course.
me
Yeah.
for an episode and joining me in my corner.
I am so honored. This was a lot of fun.
I'm so glad you enjoyed yourself. I had a lot of fun. I know it was like a heavy topic, but I feel like we had fun with it.
We definitely did.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I hope you guys had fun listening.
Yes.
And I apologize for I'm not even gonna edit out most of my bumble and rumbling mistakes. Okay,
Makes it fun.
it is 2:42 a.m. and I did this for you guys. Okay, I'm a woman of the content. Okay, that is so not what I intended to say. I'm
Yeah.
not a woman of the content. Oh my god.
Okay, we
Um,
gotta get her to bed.
yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking through with me this long. Alex, thank you again so much for
Of
coming.
course.
You know, you
Thank
have
you for
a,
having
of course,
me.
you're always welcome. I know you
Okay.
have a long drive back to Calgary
You
tomorrow,
too.
so drive safe.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Just slam some Red Bulls and I'll be
All right. Yeah.
good.
On that Kiwi too.
Yeah.
Give her.
Oh my.
Anyways, guys, I am going to link Alex's social medias so you can follow her.
Yeah. Please do.
Yeah, and she is an amazing singer, so make sure you follow her on TikTok.
Thank you.
She is fantastic at the gym and posts also amazing content there. So also go check her out on her fitness page, and then just follow her in general because she's a little cutie and like why
Thank
not?
you. My
Um,
biggest hype up fan. Thank
I
you.
do what I can. And until next time, guys. I wish I had a really cute like goodbye saying for you. I'm too tired for it, so maybe I'll record another one in a bit. But got a blast.
Oh my god.